Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode and exciting news from the world of Marvel. It kind of feels like the last few weeks we've really been talking about a lot of stuff happening in the DC universe, but it's fun to kind of delve deeper into Marvel. And as you obviously all know, I'm a huge comic book fan, and not necessarily just from a DC standpoint, but also from Marvel. You know, I am partial to DC. I grew up a huge DC fan, but I also do love Marvel. And exciting news from the world of Marvel, and according to Jeff Snyder, if you're unfamiliar with Jeff Snyder, he is an industry icon, especially when it comes to really scoops and really finding a knack to get leaks or insider information when it comes to anything comic book related. He somehow, some way finds out information that we all want to know. And according to him, Marvel has finally decided to recast T'Challa, Black Panther. And to me, this is about damn time. I was one of those people that was adamant, even though at the time I didn't really have this channel, but I was screaming to whoever would hear me that the best thing that they could have done before they did Wakanda Forever was recast Chadwick Boseman, or Black Panther. And unfortunately, obviously, we kind of understood why they didn't. Right? They decided to go a different way when they did Wakanda Forever. They decided not to recast Black Panther or T'Challa's character, right? Because obviously, especially with the untimely death of Chadwick Boseman. And a lot of us understood why, right? You're trying to pay homage to him, because obviously it would take a lot to fill his shoes. And they decided to go a different way. They decided to basically tell a different story when they did Wakanda Forever by making Shuri, who is T'Challa's sister, right? Make her the new Black Panther. And again, this was mixed reviews. Obviously, you had mixed reviews from everybody. A lot of people were conflicted. It kind of sounded like a good idea before, until people saw the movie. Now, the movie itself was really good. It really was. The story was outstanding. Ryan Coogler, obviously, again, he produced an outstanding movie and an outstanding story. The cast was really good. But a lot of people came out of that movie really, really feeling conflicted, because it didn't really give you that feeling that T'Challa gave you, right? The version of Black Panther that we were accustomed to, right? And a lot of people didn't really like it. And I remember there was this huge movement to recast Black Panther, T'Challa's character, because people didn't necessarily fall in love with Shuri as Black Panther. It didn't necessarily align with what people wanted to see, not only in live action, but also in the comics. So it didn't necessarily matter that it was her. And again, I say this because a lot of people will always say, no, people didn't like it because it was a female Black Panther. No, that was not the reason people didn't like it. It was just people didn't fall in love with the version, with that idea, with what they were trying to do, because it didn't really align with the universe that was already there. So obviously, that movie didn't do well at the box office. The studio recognized it because the Black Panther original movie made $1.3 billion, was this phenomenon that took the world by storm, became this cultural icon, you know, everybody doing this. And the sequel, even though it did a little over 800 million, obviously didn't really fulfill the studio's goals when it comes to the box office. So now here we are now. Now again, I understand the reluctancy, or how reluctant the studio was to recast Chadwick Boseman. It almost looked like they were trying not to offend, right, the fan base, and at the same time honor Chadwick Boseman. But we all especially if you're a fan of Black Panther, we all feel like they missed an opportunity. Because I really believe had they actually spoken to him, if there was a chance to speak to Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately, before he had passed away, I have no doubt about it that he would have implored them to recast his character or his particular, to recast Black Panther, rather, right? He would have implored them and insisted that they do because he loved that character and he also understood how important that character was in this universe that they were already building. So I have no doubt it would not have offended him, not only him, but the fan base and his family. I believe all of them would have loved the idea of recasting T'Challa. Now, again, this works, especially if you think about what Marvel is trying to do moving forward, right? Marvel has basically said that they're moving forward with this multiverse saga, right? Now, if you're familiar with the multiverse basically allows you, this is the idea of having different universes. So which means you can tap into the same character, but in different universes, right? And we saw this in the Flash movie, right? The Flash movie that came out last year with Ezra Miller, right? Again, this is a really, really bad movie. It really was. But we saw DC try to really explore this idea of the multiverse, right? Where we saw the Flash go into the Speed Force, try to go back in time, land in this timeline where he already existed, where there was a version of Batman. Now, in the Flash's actual timeline, Ben Affleck is Batman. Now, when he goes to this other version or this other time where he already exists, there's another version of Batman played by Michael Keaton. So, and then by the time he comes back, thinking he actually came back to his timeline, George Clooney is Batman. Now, all these characters, from Ben Affleck to Michael Keaton to George Clooney, they've all portrayed Batman in their respective universes. So you see where I'm going with this. So Marvel, if they actually explore this idea, because obviously Chadwick Boseman is dead, his version of Black Panther is dead. But if they explore the multiverse, they can actually find a Black Panther. And if they're deciding to recast Black Panther, they can now utilize another actor portraying Black Panther. And from everything we've heard, all indications, all the rumors are, they already have an idea of an actor that they have an idea of an actor that they feel would actually portray T'Challa, Black Panther. And for me, I am actually not surprised when it comes to who they're looking at. Because I remember seeing Black Adam. Now, Black Adam was an absolutely atrocious movie. It really was. I mean, the writing was horrible. The story was really, really bad. But one thing that I believe they got right was casting. And a few characters that they actually had in that movie worked. One of them was obviously Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan. He brought it. And I actually believe and I hope, kind of like the Penguin, that they would actually do a series on HBO Max about Dr. Fate with Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate because he was really good. Another character in Black Adam that worked was Hawkman, played by Aldrich Hodge, right? And in that scene, I remember there was this scene in that movie where he was talking to Amanda Waller, and he wore this African garment or regalia. And tell me this right here is not T'Challa. Tell me this does not look like T'Challa. I remember seeing it at the movie theater and going, does that look like T'Challa? And when I heard that this is who they're looking at, it was a complete no-brainer for me. Because I have seen him play Dr. Cross. If you saw him play Dr. Cross, I think on Amazon, it's a series, really good series. Not only that, he's been in several movies. But I believe he would actually bring not only a pretty interesting take to Black Panther, but something that would come close to and again, you can't really fill Chadwick Boseman's shoes. I mean, this man was larger than life. I mean, we never really saw Black Panther in live action, but he made us believe this character exists, right? And it's because of how good he was. And the idea of having Aldrich Hodge play Black Panther, I have so much confidence in the fact that this man would bring everything to this character. Number one, because he wouldn't have no choice. But also, I think he would relish the opportunity to really do a great job, because again, this is a huge opportunity to portray this iconic character that we've already seen and loved and fallen in love and really. So this to me is a complete no-brainer. And I really hope that this is not a rumor. I really do. Because to me, this is one of the best news that Marvel actually has released the last few years. I mean, because they've had miss after miss. I mean, Craven, miss after miss. The Marvels, miss after miss. They've had so much crap over the last few years. And with everything going on, especially in this comic sphere, when it comes to movies, this right here, this is gold. And I really hope that they follow through with this. I really hope that this is not a rumor. Again, this is not confirmed yet. This is a rumor. But coming from Jeff Snyder, like as an industry icon, if you know anything about him, a lot of what he puts out tends to be true. So we have no reason to doubt that this is actually something that is actually out there in the ether, something that they're actually working on. And if Marvel is smart, and if Marvel is out there listening to fans, listen to the fan base, this is a good idea. It really is. And I really hope that they follow through with this, because I believe this is an opportunity to not only honor Chadwick Boseman's memory, let it live on, right? Let this character live on, because the idea of what they were trying to do with T'Challa and Nakia's child being T'Challa, it wouldn't have worked, because they would have had to wait years for him to grow up and become Black Panther. And with the timeline that they actually have right now, it wouldn't work, right? So this actually works. So how about you give us this? How about you give us this and start seeing those zeros, those commas, as far as revenue and box office? How about you do that and see what happens? Just give us this and see what happens. Anyway, that is the news coming from Marvel. To me, it's some exciting news. I don't know about you. Tell me in the comments if you actually are excited about the idea of not only them recasting T'Challa or Black Panther, but of them having Aldrich Hodge play Black Panther. What do you think about him? Now again, I reiterate that this is a rumor, but everything that Jeff Snyder tends to touch somehow, some way, tends to, I'm just saying, does the idea of this man right here playing Black Panther excite you? Does it give you pause? I don't know. You tell me in the comments what you think, because to me, this is the best news coming from Marvel in a long time. I mean, outside of Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, you tell me. Anyway, like and subscribe, share, let this channel grow. This is fun. I love interacting with you guys, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Peace.